Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucy Wanjah. I'm a Kenyan American. After 30 years in America, I decided to come back home and settle back in Kenya. And my home is in nanyuki, and nanyuki is by the slopes of Mount Kenya. So today, I have a guest with me that I want to introduce you to. And he's always in the background, but he's a very supportive part of me. And today I want to introduce him to you guys so that he can get to know you and you can get to know him as well. So I'll give him a chance to introduce himself. So can you tell the people? I'm gonna cut his hair too as we talk. And I got my animals out here. They have my animals here just being all loud. So don't mind them. Oh, there's a peacock. He's all spread out. But anywho, so I'll cut his hair a little bit while we talk so that we have a busy day today, but I wanted to do a little video to introduce him to you guys. Okay? So I'll be cutting his hair as we talk. So he can tell you guys who he is. And just make sure you have the floor. Can you tell our viewers your name and where you're from, how we know each other, how long we've known each other, how we met.
I'm Randy Niemeyer.
I'm from the States. Basically grew up in Kansas. As a farmer, mainly a farmer, raised hogs, cattle, row crop, wheat. Also used to have like 1,200 acres of farm ground. Had 60 sows for a finish operation and 70 head of cows. And basically did that all my life until I retired here. Well, I semi-retired about 4 or 5 years ago. I fully retired year ago. And so now I'm in Kenya.
So, can you tell these good people how we met, how we know each other?
Well, we met, needed my haircut, so I went back to Manhattan, Kansas, got acquainted with Lucy, was getting my haircut, and then that later turned into a business that we were both co-owners of, Midwest Barber College in Topeka. We sold our business out when we decided to come to Kenya. First time I was in Kenya was 5 years ago. Came over mainly for a safari. Went to the ocean in Mombasa. The safari was excellent, you know, see animals close up. We saw everything there. We had a great safari guide, Sir George. He is fantastic, him and Eric both. Got acquainted with Lucy's family back here, and I told him I'd be back, and so I kept coming back for 4 years, and each time I'd stay a little longer. First time was 5 weeks, the second time was 8 weeks, the fourth time was
3 months?
3 months, yeah, 3 months, then 3 months, and went back to the States in February. We got rid of the barber college that we owned, and now we're here for good. We got in, I think it was about the middle of August.
Yep.
Got in about the middle of August, and so We've been here like about six weeks now. 6 weeks now, and we be here for a long time.
Good. So when you first came to Kenya, when did you know that you're gonna make this your home?
Well,
So this
like
is
I
where
said, the first time I said I'd be back.
You'll be
I'll be
back to
yeah.
visit, but not back to retire.
Well, I knew I was going to retire back here after I came back, probably the third time, fourth time. Why? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Kenya's a lot different than the States, but it's a great place to live. Yeah.
What's the two, if you had to choose the two things about Kenya that you like the best, what would that be? Outside loving me. That's number one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, the people, you know, they're, they're really easy to get along with. Kenyans are, Kenyans are hard working people, and that's all I did my life too, is hard work. And, the culture back here is so laid back. Other than the United States. United States is go, fast pace. Here in Kenya, it's just laid back. You don't get excited in Kenya.
So what should you say, how about the cost of living? Can we talk a little bit about the cost of living?
Cost of living, if you compare it to the United States, the produce over here in Kenya, you can go to like your roadside markets, little nothing for produce. A few dollars goes a long way here. United States, extremely high compared to here. The cost of living in the United States is a lot higher too. Since I was looking at retirement will go a lot further here in Kenya than it would back in the States. The two things that are, electricity is about the same in the States, but that's one item that is high in Kenya. And then the other item is petrol. They say petrol over here. The States it's fuel, but that is one of the big items that's a lot more expensive in Kenya is the petrol. It's a nice economical place to retire and live in Kenya. Yes.
Alright, so if you had to say the two things that you miss about back home in the States, what would that be?
Well, it would probably be it's more modernized than here is in Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
As far as your grocery, especially your grocery shops. In the States, man, you can go and get any kind of meat or anything you want. Here it's a little more limited, but yet, there's pork's available here, chicken's available, turkey. One item that is not as available as seafood. That it's available, but it's high. But other than it's a different lifestyle. But some people maybe wouldn't like it. I just love it. So it's all good as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So the other day I was thinking about our expenses, and I was just like, can we comfortably say that we live on like $100 a week? Is that realistic?
Well, of course we raise a lot of our meat.
Mm-hmm.
If you put meat in there, we're probably, a week.
Without entertainment, if we go out to eat,
Yeah,
we go out.
but you know, as far as you're just talking food.
Yeah, just like like every day, like groceries and
food.
stuff like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably, you know, it's probably like, you know, 100, 150 a week just for food.
For food, yeah.
But we usually feed more than 2 people.
Oh yeah. That's
Well,
true.
we got some of your family that comes in.
Yeah.
We got some of the farm help that comes in because they know I'm a good cook and they like my American food.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't know I was a good cook till I come to Kenya. And now, and when they hear I'm cooking, why they gotta come to eat.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we're probably, you know, feeding 3 to 4 all the time. You know, at 150, say 150, 200 a week, but you know, I'd say 150. You know,
I think most of our expenses is just the Kenya power, the electricity.
Yeah.
Electricity.
Well, that's what I said.
Yeah, you
We
said
were
that,
just figuring food. We weren't figuring.
Yeah.
But as far as household
Movement.
expenses,
Yeah.
then you come in, like I've already said, that electricity is high, but it's comparable to the United States. And then, you know, if you do a lot of traveling with the vehicle, the petrol's high.
Yeah.
See, in the States, well, when we left, I think it was right around $3 a gallon. And over here, it's like, what would that be? 1,650 shillings for a liter. I think I'm right.
That's one thing I haven't paid attention to.
Yeah, but the petrol over here, it's in liters and it's in shillings. And I think it's like 1685 shillings, but that's only for 1 liter. So that puts your gas up quite a bit, because that would put a liter, there'd be almost 4 liters in a gallon.
Oh yeah.
Approximately 4 liters in a gallon. So that puts that up pretty expensive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never paid attention to how much.
Yeah,
it
but
cost.
you know, electricity's comparable.
Yeah, I know electricity because I put tokens, 2,500 shillings. That's like what, $20?
Yeah.
That doesn't even give us a week. Mind you, we do have the
Farm. Well, you got the farm, you got the servants' quarters, and then you got this farm.
Yeah.
Or not this farm, this house. So, you know, you're basically supplying electricity to three different places. You know, and the farm at times takes a lot of electricity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the best thing is about we don't pay rent. That's the best thing having this house.
Yeah.
Not having to pay rent, not having to pay mortgage. That's a big plus. So if anybody wants to retire in Kenya from America or from Europe, what would be your #1 advice? Like, what would you tell them that you have learned from the 5
Well, I'd
years?
say come to live in Kenya. You know, like I say,
First, get you a good woman.
The United States is getting too political, and I can say I don't care for the president that we got, but United States is not a country that is to me, United States is not a country you want to retire in. I'll put it that way.
Yeah,
because
cost of living is high.
Cost of living is too high in the United States.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, Kenya is just a lot better place, I think, than the United States. So that's why I'm here.
Quality of life.
Yeah, quality of life.
Yes,
you know, the temperature. Well, where we're at, but right here we're next to the Kenyan mountain. Mount Kenya, and hopefully I'm going to hike up it this year or early next year.
Yeah, you're looking into that.
Yeah, I'm looking into it.
Yeah.
I can see Mount Kenya here. I see it all the time. I say, man, that'd be a nice mountain for me to go up. Of course, I'm 66 years old. You never know when my knees are going to wear out. So I need to do Mount Kenya all I can. And let's say that isn't going to be the first time I go up to Mount Kenya. You know, I may take another trip up there.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. but
I like to come with you, but I have asthma very bad.
you wouldn't make it.
I can't breathe. I won't be
You
able to
can't.
breathe.
You can't make it a mile,
Kilometer.
kilometer,
Yeah.
kilometer. I don't know what
Yeah,
it kind of is.
Mm.
Yeah. And walking, you know.
Uh,
Of course, we got a farm, so I'm real active in the farm. I retired from the farm, now I come back here to farm. But the things I like about Kenyan, you know, well, even on the farm, mainly with the livestock, you know, you can talk to them and they'll understand, you know, and they'll do things different, you know, and things that we do, it always helps production of our hogs or chickens. You know, I remember when we first had hogs, when Lucy first had, Lucy had hogs, why, we were raising 4 and 5 a litter, and, you know, I said, well, there's something wrong, you know, we need to be up to the 8 or 9. Well, I came over and, I spent 8 weeks, I believe, and they had 2 sow sparrows, and we raised, I remember that's the first 2 that I helped as far as when they farrowed, as far as giving birth, farrowed. Why, they didn't really know how to take care of the pigs, and that's a crucial part in a hog operation is the first few days for a pig. You know, you can lose a lot of pigs in the first few days. Well, in 2 sows, we raised 19 out of the 2 sows, and then after that, why, we started raising more. And now then, through the genetics that we got, and with me back here, you know, 3 months, that helped a lot too, but now when I'm going to be back here permanently, other than go back to the States for maybe a month or 2, we've got our number per sow up to 10 and 11 now.
Yeah.
You know, we seldom have a sow that doesn't raise 10 or 11, and that's where I was back in the States 25 years ago. But see, I still got the knowledge, because like I say, I raised 1,000 head back there every year for a number of years. And I was associated with livestock when I was 6 years old. I'd go out with my dad to chore, and I'd have my little bucket. And then after I got big enough, why, then it was me doing the chores instead of my dad. But so I retired there from farming, and now I'm back here. I haven't really got into the farming as far as producing crops, but the livestock, I think I made a big improvement on the farm with the livestock.
Yeah, true story, you did.
And there's more improvement to make. But, yeah.
Didn't we have a sow that farrowed 20 piglets this week?
Well, yeah, she farrowed
20, but
she's down to 13 now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Haven't been there for a little
Well,
bit.
some of them were stillborn, born
Yeah.
dead. Then she laid on one,
Yeah.
and then a couple small ones that have, you know, wouldn't get enough milk. So, you know, yeah.
So anything else you want to add before we wrap it up?
First time I came here, we had an old boy that we were doing some projects on the farm, and we had him hired to help. And of course, I just go and, you know, work with him. You know, that's what I've always done. So I was just working with him. And after he was here a 3 days, we went down to the bar there at Midpoint, and I walked in there, and he must have, you know, everybody just came and give me a high five, and I didn't really know what was going on. And he, Jackson's his name. He must have told everybody that this guy works just like we do.
Yeah, because they're not used to why people don't work hard around here.
Yeah.
So anyways, so we're gonna wrap it up for now. I'm gonna finish you up, and then we're gonna go show them the pigs and the animals for a little bit.
Yeah.
Then we're gonna come back, and we're gonna go to Nanyuki. What are we doing in Nanyuki? That's exciting in town.
Well, we're
I'm
starting.
excited.
Well, I guess they call it, restaurant.
Yeah.
Restaurant and bar, that'll be our second one.
Mm-hmm.
I was over last year and we got, had the restaurant going, but I helped get the bar going.
Yeah. In the Moro, yeah.
In the Moro.
In the Moro, yeah.
Now this one's gonna be in nanyuki, this is gonna be a bigger and better one.
Yeah, bigger and better.
Bigger and better.
An American.
And this American's gonna teach them how to cook more American food there.
Yeah.
Biggest thing we're gonna get into is smoking meat. I've been probably smoking meat for 30 years, off and on, but I've had the Kenyans taste the meat down at Midpoint. They just love that smoked meat. When are you gonna smoke meat? When are you gonna smoke meat? Well,
Now we can have a restaurant.
yeah, but we're gonna start with chicken and pork.
Yeah.
Chicken and pork, and then we're gonna branch off from there. But, yeah.
Maybe turkeys, maybe. Turkey.
Yeah. Turkeys are good smoked. I've smoked a lot of them back home.
Yeah.
Last year I finally did. I've been wanting to build a smoker, so I finally got the smoker built. Had a welder come in and we kind of designed it. It works good. But we got to do something a little more professional and more productive than my little smoker.
Yeah.
But so we're in doing some remodeling and some construction work. So yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right then. So we're gonna finish cleaning him up. Then we're gonna go do a little tour of the farm. For the last video, I did a house tour, and everybody was like, "Show us the animals." So we will do that.